Hello and welcome to the Art of Artisan. Today we are meming. I have not tested this deck. I built it like within the last minute, but I just have to do this and we're going to see how it goes. If it goes badly, oh well, I'm still recording. I'm still posting the video of me going 0-5. And even worse, I know this is going to make the video not as popular, but I'm playing Alchemy because I just want the most chance of this working. Nazguls. Nazguls are broken. So you look at it, and it's when it enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. When the ring tempts you, put a +1/+1 counter on each Wraith you control, which in this case is just on each Nazgul you control. In Historic, you can start doing changeling stuff, and I might make a video about that soon, but in this case, it just pumps up other Nazguls. Now, this doesn't seem super strong until you realize how it stacks. Whenever any Nazgul enters the battlefield, the ring will tempt us, and then that will trigger all of our Nazguls. So the first Nazgul will give all of our Nazguls +1/+1. The second one gives them all +2/+2. The next one gives them +3/+3. If you did Collected Company into 2 Nazgul, you end up getting 10 power on the board because they both enter the battlefield, they both make the ring tempt you, and then each of those tempts puts a +1/+1 counter on each of your wraiths twice. It's super duper strong. So I decided to meme. We're going to play 9 Nazgul, 4 Invasion of Amonkhet, which can flip over and become a copy of a Nazgul, 4 Invasion of Vryn, which we can use to copy Nazgul, 4 Hulking Metamorph, which can enter the battlefield for 4 mana as a 3/3 Nazgul. And then we're going to be adding Birthday Escape. We have other ways to tempt us. So after we have multiple Nazgul down, then all of these cards are giving our team a permanent +2/+2, +3/+3 sort of effect. So we're running 4 Birthday Escapes, super strong. 3 copies of Golem's Bite, which is just decent removal. 2 copies of Glorious Gale, counter stuff, very rarely will tempt us. 2 Soothing of Smeagol, slow the opponent down while growing our board. Then we've got some Make Disappears. I'm really scared of sweepers and control decks, so I'm running some of those. And some generic removal because we want to have good plays to do before turn 3, because all of our Nazgul stuff is 3 or more mana. And that's the deck. We're literally just Nazguls, copying Nazguls, things to tempt us, and a little bit more control. And that's it. Simple deck. Let's go see how it does. Alrighty, game number 1. This is the maiden voyage for this deck. Never played it before. I kind of played a version in Historic, but this is even more all in on the meme, but in a lower power format. And the lower power format should help a lot. This is awkward, especially because we have double blue pips for Hulking Metamorph, but 2 Nazguls in our opening hand, I can't turn that down. We want lots of Nazgul, and you will see how powerful they are in multiples. You just Nazgul, and start absolutely destroying your opponent. And nicely, the ring will tempt us and let us get rid of these extra swamps. Ooh, March of the Black Gate. Okay. That's a little threatening. Yeah, so here we go. First Nazgul pumps itself up to 2/3. That'll block this. I'm not even sure I want to block. They could easily have instant speed and amass sort of shenanigans. Oh, that's... Our opponent made our decision for us. Fair enough. Question is, do we want to Invasion of Vryn next turn? Or do we just dump a Nazgul? I think we dump a Nazgul... No, we Invasion of Vryn to be mana efficient. Mana efficiency is important right now. Draw 3, then discard 1. There's another Nazgul. I think we're good on mana, so we'll just discard a swamp. Next turn we can Nazgul with Soothing of Smeagol, and then we can drop another Nazgul the turn after that and probably flip Invasion of Vryn. Decisions. Okay. Yep, their creature's growing, but... Oh, this is non-token. Soothing of Smeagol is not a removal spell right now. Opponent playing Nazgul. Yep. That's what everybody's doing right now. Nazgul is the popular thing to do. Alrighty. We'll drop a Nazgul. It's now a medium okay creature. Next. Pass to the opponent. So the question is, what order to play things? Oh, that's a good question. How does Invasion of Rin work with a prototype creature? Does it copy that it's a prototype? I think it would copy that it's a prototype. So I think it's not broken. All right, we'll just return this to our hand. Okay, Nazgul, come on back. Next turn, we'll just drop 2 Nazgul. That should be pretty strong. Nazgul. Okay, so here we go. Finally getting multiple Nazguls at once. First one pumps up. Second one, the ring tempts us. I choose that to be Murring Bear. And then they both trigger to pump everything up. And they get big really fast. Now, are we going to die to our opponent's Nazgul stuff? Yes, very quickly. Oh, that's true, though. They couldn't do that. Okay. Whenever an opponent draws a card, they lose some life. Yeah, that sucks. So step 1, I think, is attack Invasion of Rin. Yeah. Attack Invasion of Rin. All right, we're just going to go absolutely massive here. Draws a card. Oh, shoot, that draws us a card. Stupid Sheoldred. Stupid Sheoldred. That's going to make this hard to survive. And we die to Nazgul because we can't block it. Well, I was not thinking. I was thinking, oh, I goofed. But we're going to see something cool. Get ready for this. Hulking Metamorph comes in. Copy it with Overloaded Mage Ring. And let's see how big our board gets. It will enter as a copy of Nazgul. The ring tempts us. We'll choose this to be our ring bearer. Why not? And that's 3 triggers. Hulking Metamorph comes in as a copy of a Nazgul. And we'll choose it to be the ring bearer. And then we get 4 more counters. Now, was this worth losing to our opponent Sheoldred? No. But it was very fun. Because now Nazgul gets in, and then on our upkeep, we draw a card, and we lose. Hopefully our opponent plays a legendary creature, though. Yep, opponent saw the line. They knew what was up. All right, play a creature. I want to counter it and pump everything. Darn it. Don't get to pump everything, but I do get to block them. And I do not have upkeep removal for Sheoldred, so we are just dead. I don't think we have any instant speed life gain either. Yeah, our deck is way too focused for that. We do have Dismal Backwater. Get us back to 0 life. And okay, so we lost. We had 38 power on board, but we did lose. On to game number 2. Alrighty, game number 3. However, everybody watching this will probably know it as game number 2. I just played a game against someone who just kind of scooped it up way too early. We didn't play a single Nazgul. We just tempted and used Golem's Bite and played an Invasion of Amonkhet and they scooped. It was weird. This has removal and card draw. Hulking Metamorph is kind of one of our worst cards, but I had to commit to the meme and play as many copies of Nazgul as possible. But this is a keepable hand. Mirrex, okay. I think we just want to turn 3 Invasion of Amonkhet, hold up Golem's Bite, rather than hold up Go for the Throat and maybe not need it. Frodo. And they only have colorless mana up. It is very safe to do this now. Our opponent is also playing our opponent's playing a temp deck, but can they keep up with the Nazguls? Alright, any land is super good here because that gives us the Hulking Metamorph, which in turn gets us at 4 power, which means we can flip Invasion of Amonkhet. A lot of good stuff potentially coming. Oh, the opponent's also a Nazgul deck. I see. That's not a land. So now the question is, do I Invasion of Amonkhet, or do I go for the Throat of the Nazgul? I'm going to Invasion and try to hit a land drop this turn. Hitting a land drop would be really nice. Alright, Invasion, mill 3. Oh, double Nazguls. That's 2 less in the deck. Alright, Skrelv. Okay. Not sure entirely what our opponent is doing still. That's another Nazgul. We'll take that. And do we even need to attack the invasion? Probably not yet. Oh my gosh, should we steal our opponent's Frodo? No, because it'll be a 4/4. I guess we attack invasion. Yeah, we'll attack invasion. Why not? Yeah, we're happy with the trade here. Not super happy. I mean, we're more committed to having the lots of Nazgul plan, but I think that we have a bit more inevitability than our opponent's Nazgul. Also, our opponent is Mr. Moneybags over there. They have bought the alt art for all the Nazgul. Sadly, from drafting, you only get this artwork for Nazgul, which kind of sucks. Okay, we are once again having land issues, and it's not like we're running too few lands in this deck. Like, weren't all 3 of these lands in our opening hand? What the heck? Okay. So I can Birthday Escape. And if things go well, I can go for the Throat the Nazgul. Yeah, I'm going to risk it. Birthday Escape, hit me a land. Let's go. Yeah, you can craft the alternate art. But crafting the alternate art, that's 8 uncommon wild cards. And uncommon wild cards, everybody knows those are the most valuable wild cards. That's at least been my experience. Alright, we just need to go for the goat. Kill the Nazgul. Thank goodness that resolved. Alright, so opponent doesn't have much going on. They don't have a ring bearer. You're up to 5 lands. If I do this, there's a chance that we can get another Nazgul and double Nazgul next turn. We'd need a land and a Nazgul in the top 3 of our deck, which isn't too unlikely. I think I'll high roll. Oh yeah, we're high rolling. Do I discard the Metamorph or the Make Disappear? It's getting late enough in the game that I'm not happy to hold up Make Disappear. So just next turn, we'll be dumping some Nazgul onto the battlefield. Then the turn after that, we'll dump a Hulking Metamorph onto the battlefield. And then hopefully start flipping the Invasion of Amonkhet. Ugh, Sheoldred. Gotta love Sheoldred. Luckily, we have Death Touch creatures, which are going to be very annoying for Sheoldred, but still, that is an issue of a card. If our opponent just never attacks with it, it's still going to be very frustrating to deal with. Yep. I lose some life. Let's just dump some Nazgul. Nazgul. They've got priority, I think, just because they can sacrifice Boromir. Which, who cares? But our opponent's going to make us take some time between every single step, making us think they might have a... Oh, what's the 1-mana removal? There's a white spell that's equal to the number of planes you control, something like that. They could be holding that up. So next turn, we are going to get 2 more Nazgul minimum. I think I'm going to play Hulking Metamorph and Invasion of Amonkhet, and then swing my Nazgul at both invasions. If we draw a land, we'd need a land. So maybe I start off with Invasion. Ooh, Destroy Evil. Goodbye, Nazgul. It was nice knowing you. Alright, if they swing in, I'm blocking Sheoldred and forcing them to sack Boromir. That is a very okay trade for me. Okay. They're going to tempt with Boromir. Now they can trade it with our Nazgul. And we need one on the battlefield for our hulking metamorph. So I don't think I can safely block. Oh, they don't attack. Oh, thank goodness they don't attack. All right. Resolves. Now we just drop a hulking metamorph, which is going to be a extra chunky Nazgul. A little bit bigger than your average one. The ring now tempts us, which will then pump up our Nazgul to some very large values. Now they would have to trade one of their creatures for our Nazgul if they want to block it. But if they don't block it, we just get another Nazgul. And the plan is actually working. All right, we draw a card. That hurts. Drawing a card definitely hurts. Okay. They get some indestructible. Sure. Ooh. That's kind of nice. Glorious Gale is actually really nice here. We draw a card. Sure. Ooh, our Nazgul cannot block Shieldred. That is scary. We cannot block Shieldred right now. Oh, they sacrifice anyways because of the ring. The ring is busted. Holy cow. That was good. I'm happy with how that turned out. Okay, the one ring. That gives them protection from everything, but I'm not attacking them. I'm attacking my invasion. All right, play a creature. Let me just Glorious Gale it immediately. Oh, nice. And that tempts us. Feeling kind of tempted today, you know? Yeah, that makes Nazgul big. This makes Nazgul bigger. Okay. I could swing in at Invasion of Vryn. That costs mana. Okay, so I'm just swinging in at Invasion of Amonkhet. Let's see how big we can get. Let's see how big we can get. Ooh, that's nice, but I don't actually think that's as good as just slamming Nazguls back to back. Invasion of Amonkhet. We could steal the opponent's Shieldred. We could steal the opponent's Shieldred. But we could also steal Alt-Art Nazgul. And now we've got the alternate art. Take that, opponent. Puts a +1/+1 counter on each of our wraiths. Then we play Invasion of Amonkhet. Don't know why, it's just kind of fun. Draws us another invasion. We're not going to play that. We're going to play a Nazgul. That pumps up the whole team quite a bit. And we are now presenting lethal. And that's like, look at this. This is an 11/11 Nazgul. It wasn't that hard to make that happen. Like, it wasn't that hard at all to get such giant Nazgul. I mean, this is a little bit over the top, the strategy that I'm doing here. But in general, Nazgul are underrated. Super good. Holy cow. I'm loving it. And we were going to get, like, we could have, if we really wanted, gotten 3 more Nazgul next turn, which would have been pretty fun. But let's go on to the next game. Okay. Game number 3/4. 3 for the video, 4 for the decks. Playing. Lack of blue mana. Once again, hulking metamorph is just awkward with the double blue pips in an Artisan deck. But we did have to maximize. We have to maximize our Nazguls. Alright, we're going to mulligan. That's a great hand. Keep 6. We will just dump the hulking metamorph and try to draw into lands with these birthday escapes, and then go hard with 2 Nazgul. Oh, man. But, like, can you imagine something along the lines of Mystic Reflections? If you know that card, you can foretell it, and it's 1 mana. Creatures this turn enter as a copy of target creature. And you just like create 3 copies of Nazgul. That's gonna be 3 10/10 creatures. That's 30 power. Like, it takes a little bit of setup. Well, you'd also have a Nazgul on the battlefield, so they'd be even more than that. They'd be at least 13/13s. Anyways, they're so good at multiples. I've been saying it a lot, but it's still true. Now, the question here is, do we play Birthday Escape? Or do we save it to pump our Nazguls after they're already down? I think the best thing we could draw is like a counter spell. Okay. I think we just pass. We're going to Nazgul into Nazgul Birthday Escape into Nazgul something else, depending on what we draw over the course of those turns. Captain Eberhard. Okay, this is soldiers. This is legit just soldiers. That's a little bit scary. Not super scary. I mean, this 2/3 blocker with Death Touch seems pretty good against a 1/2 double strike. The Sky Strike Officer is scary, though. This card is a fast clock. I mean, and it's also card draw. Yeah, that's a scary card. But I think our opponent's deck is just slow enough that we're going to absolutely overwhelm them with Nazgul's Chaos. Brutal Cathar. That. Golem's Bite. No, wait. It costs more because of Captain Eberhard. Golem's Bite is not an incredible draw, but it is a good one. Because that will eventually get rid of the Brutal Cathar. And getting rid of the Brutal Cathar is a lot of value. Taps everything. Not much for the opponent there. I think we do just play 1 Nazgul this turn. Oh wait, no, because Birthday Escape is bad. I need to remember that Birthday Escape is bad because of Captain Eberhard on board. What's opponent up to? Valiant Veteran. There's the pump spell, and now we are in trouble. By Elspeth's command, we are in even more trouble. At the beginning of combat on your turn, up to 1 target soldier perpetually gets +1/+1 and gains flying. And we are dead in the air next turn. That's brutal. So, like, there's literally no reason to block because we're just dead in the air. Yeah, we lose. Holy cow. Brutal Cathar, looking good there. And we draw another land. So there's really, like, nothing we could draw that would help us. Although we do get a draw off of this Nazgul attacking. So we could draw a 2-mana spell, which could be... Nope, we're dead. I maybe could have survived if I blocked and then killed the Valiant Veteran, something like that. Well, opponent's really thinking on this one. Well, let's just see how big our Nazgul get. Let's see how large these boys get. This will be a 4/4. It'll get up to a 6/6. And this one will get up to, well, it'll be a 6/7 and a 5/6. We'll choose this to be our ring bearer, because why not? Put a +1/+1 counter on each Wraith I control, yep. And then we Birthday Escape. There's an Invasion of Rin. Not super nice. And we lose. Rough stuff. Let's see what we would have drawn. Island. Oh my gosh. After all these land flooding games, we finally get some land screw. I can't remember. Is this game... Wait a second. I beat the Shieldred deck. I beat the Goblins deck. Is this just build games? Yeah, it was against Kaido. Trying to make sure the record was right. Alright, we lose. Concede. Still playing cards for some reason. Oh, sorry, that I froze the screen there by pulling up the stream. Oh, yeah. So that one, I think, was partially just bad luck. We've got a lot of removal in our deck. Not a lot, but we've got some decent things that we could have used there and just we're not drawing them. On to game number 4. Okay, game number 4 versus Insane Red HUD. Removal into Counterspell, into Nazgul, into Invasion. We finally got kind of a curve out. I mean, 9 Nazgul in the deck does mess with our curve a little bit, not gonna lie. Alright, play like Skrelv, something that I can just kill. Progenitor Exarch. Sure. Our opponent is doing something Phyrexian Incubate-y. I have not seen that card like ever outside of draft. Kind of forgot it exists. Okay, yeah, they're literally just like a Norn's Inquisitor sort of deck. Norn's Inquisitor puts a +1/+1 counter whenever you flip an Incubate token. So that's cool in their deck. Okay, Nazgul number 1. Pumps itself up. Nazgul number 2 will get it to 4 power. Opponent scoops it up. Opponent does not. Oh, they might have missed a land drop. Opponent, I played through all my games when I was missing land drops. Oh well. On to game number 5. Okay. Game number 5 versus Monstars. We are at least guaranteed a 50% record, although we've had some kind of non-games. Once again, great hand. As long as we draw a reasonable number of lands, this should be a pretty decent hand. We have had land troubles a lot with this deck so far. So there's actually kind of a cool fact about the way that Arena works, where it keeps track of the way your deck is shuffled and keeps it shuffled between games and then reshuffles it from the shuffled position. Which means if you play a deck more and more, it theoretically actually gets more shuffled. Now, it's a lot of theoretical, and it has to do with programming being imperfect at shuffling, but it is a real thing. So at a very small amount, me playing a new deck for the first time without testing it at all might have actually been part of the reason that we had slightly worse land luck than usual. All right. Opponent, you can play your Yawgmoth on your Gix Yawgmoth Praetor. We are just going to get in with Giant Nazgul. That is our game plan, and it is not going to change. Draw a card, discard a card. I think we actually discard the land. If we'd like to draw a land next turn, but we just want to maximize our Nazguls. Nazguls are so powerful. They're so strong in multiples. Sure. Exile target creature. Wow, they're desperate enough for card draw that they attacked the smaller Nazgul. All right. Nazgul number 3. Opponent's going to be so salty by the end of this. We're going to have some massive Nazgul, and they're just going to be like, how did you draw half of them? Because we are currently at half. Is Glorious Gale or Soothing is better? Soothing is going to let us get in for a lot of damage. Like, potentially next turn, if we draw a land, we go Nazgul, Soothing of Smeagol. And that will pump up our team by 6 power for our 2 creatures and remove a blocker. That should be fairly strong. This is a good one to end on. This is, I'm happy to end our video on us going absolutely ham with Nazguls. Just drawing all of them. We could play Invasion of Rin. Now, is that correct? No. Alright, we're just going to drop a Nazgul. We came here to do this. We'll make the smaller one harder to deal with. And now both of our Nazgul are lethal threats, thanks to us having finished the ring. I guess... Oh no, I don't have 2 blue mana. Hulking Metamorph, get out of here. Opponent has to double block. Not double block, but block both. They probably... Okay, so they choose to kill that one and chump that one. Bonk, bonk. And next turn, we're going to play another one, and we'll have multiple lethal threats again. And if we get Soothing of Smeagol, they will be huge. Oh my goodness. Soul Hunter Rakasha. Oh, dang it! We even drew the Birthday Escape. Oh, yeah. There we saw it. Just play Nazgul into Nazgul, and they are... You're dropping these like 6-7 Death Touchers and incidentally finishing the ring. That's not too shabby at all. Yeah, drawing lots of Nazgul and we win the game. Let's get to the deck wrap-up. Is this the correct way to play Nazgul? No, not at all. The best way to play it is probably more digging for them rather than cloning them. But I do think having the semi-controlling start off to let you start slamming them down is really nice. I do think Invasion of Amonkhet was actually kind of cool with them. It's just a decent card in the first place, and copying a Nazgul is so strong. And overall, I'm very happy with the deck. Oh, I forgot to update the record. Let me change that real quick. Edit. We got a 4-2. Now, to be fair, 2 of these opponents sort of gave up. We removed one of their creatures, and they just immediately gave up. So that's maybe not the best data points, but we did stop them. And we also dealt with our own mana screw issues that the opponents potentially were dealing with. So I don't know. I don't know if we should count those or not. But in general, I won 4 games with this deck, lost 2. Very happy with it. As far as upgrades go, so first of all, these cards are bad. These 2 cards are for sure out of the deck. And Invasion of Amonkhet is kind of questionable as well. If there were a single card I would add to this deck, it would actually be... well, if I were to change the deck, it would be a drastic change for non-budget. What's the card? There's a card, top cards deck. I don't know what it is. But there is a card called like Reconstruction that looks at the top few cards of your deck. What is wrong? Why can I not find this? Not collected. That's why. Kayla's Reconstruction. I knew the name. I just didn't do it right. So look at the top 7 cards of your library. Put up to X artifact and or creature cards with mana value 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield. This and Collected Company, if you're going back to Historic, are the obvious upgrades to this deck. In which case, you kind of scrap everything. If you're gonna go non-budget, the build doesn't even go blue, probably. Most likely you drop the blue and you go for more sort of tutor from the top of your deck effects. There's also some really strong... You could maybe stay with the mill plan if you went back to Historic and do like Stitcher Supplier and No One Left Behind, which is a 2-mana spell to reanimate a 3-mana value creature. So you could do stuff like that. But in general, the plan of Slam Nazguls gives you a very strong board. And if you mix that with some amount of card advantage and some amount of control elements, then you can stop the aggro decks, and you can just play such big threats that you're beating out a lot of mid-range stuff. You've got elements to stop combo decks, and control decks can't keep up with your card advantage, most likely, if you're doing stuff like Invasion of Amonkhet. So maybe blue is a good color, but Kayla's Reconstruction is just too expensive as lots of white. So I don't know the exact build. It's up to you guys. Let me know what you think the best build of Nazgul is, whether it's in Alchemy or if it's in Historic. I actually think it's Historic, and I might do another one soon. I might make another video soon about a very fun Historic build with changelings. But until then, let me know what you think, and keep enjoying budget magic, y'all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.